Today I will talk about material requirements planning. It is part of my series of lecture on operations management. So material requirements planning is determining the number of components or materials required to produce a product. It has a time schedule dimension. Before talking about material requirements planning, let us see what is the lead time. So there are two types of lead time. One is ordering lead time. It is the time gap from ordering for a part till the time the part is received from the supplier. Manufacturing lead time, it is the time gap from receiving the part or start of production till the final product is produced. What are the inputs which are required for material requirements planning? We require three things. One is bill of material. Bill of material include materials needed to produce each product and assembly line structure. Then the other component required for material requirement planning is inventory data. In inventory data, we need stock status, we need ordering lead time information, and we need safety stock information. Then we need master production schedule. So let us see what is the bill of material. So bill of material is materials needed for production of a particular product. So if, for example, in a service industry, in a clinical laboratory, one of our service is complete blood count, and for complete blood count, we need a particular hematology analyzer. I have taken this example of KX21, and this need three reagents to work. One is CellPack, the other is Stromatolizer WH, and the other is CellClean. And these are required in a particular ratio. So this is a bill of material for CBC analysis. Now let us see bill of material for a production industry. Let us say for product S, and to assemble the product X, we need a main assembly and two sub-assemblies. Sub-assembly 1 require component part A and part B. Sub-assembly 2 require component part A and component part D. And part C is directly required to assemble the product. So these are the materials required for product X, and the ratio in which they are required is part A 2 times and part B and C and D 1 each. This is a chart which I have already shown you in my lecture on master production schedule. So the input required for material requirement planning is bill of material, the master production schedule, and inventory data. And bill of material require the information on product design. So what is the procedure for material requirement planning? We need to do bucketing of time. So time is divided into either years, months, weeks, days, and it is a not a long term. MRP is not a long term plan, so it is usually in weeks or days. Then we do part explosion. We drill down the components of a product or subcomponents of a component. Then we do offsetting based on lead time. Then we do aggregation. Then we do netting, which is aggregate requirement minus inventory level. Then we do lotting or calculating the economic order quantity to order. So what are the output of material requirements planning? Output is quantity of materials required. Schedule of, this is OF, sorry, schedule of material requirements and dates on which to place order considering the ordering lead time. What are the secondary outputs of material requirement planning? Secondary output include exception reports, performance reports, and planning reports. Exception reports include, for example, overdue of a particular order. So this information is required in future planning and making future MRPs. Then what are the hurdles in use of MRP? There may be inaccuracies, for example, in order lead time information, inaccuracies in manufacturing lead time, inaccuracy in inventory data, inaccuracy in bill of material structure, for example, due to change in product design. If there is change in product design, we need to change the bill of material. Otherwise, there will be problem in formulating the MRP. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.